Hi, I'm Jerry Heiser, and I'm here today to talk to you about the second major element in a professional club fitting, and that is to actually build your golf clubs to your specifications. Now, I want to ask you a question. Now, if you're playing Titleist or TaylorMade or Callaway or any of the big manufacturers, ask yourself this question. These companies build thousands and thousands and thousands of sets every year. Now, if you get fitted and you buy a set of those, ask yourself, do you actually think they're going to take the time to build your set of golf clubs to your specifications? Okay, let me tell you how I build golf clubs. This here is a head. This is the golf head. This happens to be a Mira. And when anything is manufactured, they deal with tolerances. The tightest tolerances in the best foundries in the world, plus or minus 1 degree in the loft, plus or minus 1 degree in the lie angle. That's why whenever I get a brand new set of golf clubs in, and I get the heads in, the first thing I do is actually measure the loft and lie. This machine set up right here, I've already got a club set in it. This is the only true way that you can measure the loft and lie, offset, and face angle of golf clubs. I know it's not green, but in the old days it used to be a lot bigger, and it used to be green, so they call it a green machine. This is the standard of the industry for measuring loft and lie, face angle, offset on golf clubs. Okay, so the first thing I do is measure all the lofts. Now the reason why I do that is because of the strength of the lofts today in golf clubs. There's only 3 degrees difference in your long irons, 4 degrees difference in your mid to short irons. So if these lofts are not correct, it's very easy to have 2 irons hit the same length. You may have a bigger gap. The loft is what gives you the gap between your irons. The lie angle is also very important. Say I fitted you and you're supposed to be 1 degree up. Well, I can't just go to the loft lie machine and start bending all of them 1 degree up, because what if the manufacturing, what if this head is already 1 degrees up? I don't need to bend it. If it's 1 degree down, I have to bend it 2 degrees instead of the normal 1. So it's very important that you know the lie angle of each and every iron in your set. That's what this machine does, so that I can bend the lofts as advertised, so you have the proper gaps. And when I fit you for your dynamic lie, I can fit that so I know how much to bend each and every iron head. The second thing I do, we'll get rid of this right here. The second thing I do is in the shafts. And we got a shaft sitting right here. Okay, the shaft, if it comes in a raw length, like some parallel tip shafts do, then I can go through a shaft bend profile of this shaft and then sort them so that I know exactly which shaft to put into each iron. Now other shafts, like if they're tapered, or some of the Nippon shafts or the True Temper shafts, they already come in specific lengths for certain irons, so I can't do a shaft bend profile. But what I do then with the shaft is I spine and flow the shaft, what they call spine and flow. The spine of the shaft has to be pointed at your target. That gives you the most consistency for the way that the club will bend during your swing. In order to do that, you find the spine, and then you use this machine right here, which is a frequency machine. And then once you find the spine, you put a 200-gram weight, you put it in here, and when you flick the shaft should bend straight up and down. It's not going to sit there and start wobbling all over the place. So once you find the spine, you sit there and you make sure that the shaft flows straight up and down. Then you turn it 180 degrees and do it again. And that way, if the shaft is going straight up and down, you notice what frequency is on the machine. And the spine will always be the stiffest frequency. So when you turn it 180, that will be a softer frequency. So therefore you know where exactly the spine is. So that way you know exactly how to put this shaft into the golf club head. The next thing that you do is during the fitting, I fitted you for your perfect swing weight MOI. So once I get the shaft and the head all cut down to your length and everything else, your length, have the shaft pointed in the proper direction, I use this machine here. Which is called an auditor. Okay, during the fitting, I fit you for your perfect swing weight MOI. Then I take that demo club, put it in this machine here, and I get the true MOI of that club. That way, when I assemble your clubs, I put them on the auditor so that I can perfectly match each and every iron, except for the sand wedge and the lob wedge, you want those a little heavier, to your perfect swing weight MOI. That gives you the best consistency, it gives you the best accuracy, and the best feel you've ever had in your hands for any golf club. Okay, then the last part of it is to actually assemble the golf clubs, where you epoxy them all together and you let them sit till the epoxy dries. Once the epoxy is set up and everything, then you actually can turn the ferrule, clean up all the shafts and everything so they look all nice and pretty, and then you have a perfect match between the ferrule, the club head going down to the shaft. Then you grip them, make sure that the grips are nice and straight, and there's your golf club all ready to go. Thank you.